Howdy, folks. This is Big Sam. We've got another interesting Mosin out today, and I want to show you something that stumped me at first. And it's a little weird. I've never seen this on any other Mosin before. Let's see if you can spot it. I went to check the rifle, so I opened the bolt, did an inspection. I did a visual inspection. Yep, it's clear. Then I went to close the bolt, but I couldn't. And I said, well, why can't I close the bolt? That's pretty strange. And it turns out the bolt's actually hitting the magazine follower. And I looked at this and then I thought about it some and realized this is strange. Now, I'm a software engineer. So when we see something like this, we ask ourselves, is this a bug or a feature? Is this intentional, or did this just sort of happen by accident, or the parts messed up? And is a byproduct of that just the bolt can't close now if you don't have any rounds loaded in the rifle? Well, the short answer is I don't know. I've never seen this on any Mosin though, so I can only hypothesize. But what's actually happening here? Well, the magazine follower is bent forwards like that. And so the back of it's sticking up, and it's right here. You can see it's actually hitting the bolt head, and I can't move it, right? It hits it, so I can't go forward. Now, what's funny is that this is remarkably similar to how a Kar98 Mauser works, where you go to close the bolt and there's no rounds in the chamber. The follower actually has a little bit of a lip on it, and it'll hit the bolt, acting as a bolt holdopen. Now, I've heard a wives' tale, and I don't know if this is true or not, that the idea behind that is, in the heat of combat, you're firing rounds and you're cycling the bolt, the action, loading another round, firing it, and you get so caught up and you don't really realize what's going on. You just muscle memory from training. You just keep opening and closing the bolt and firing, that eventually you run out of ammo, but your mind doesn't even process it. And even though you don't have any ammo, you still keep on cycling the bolt, pulling the trigger, cycling the bolt, pulling the trigger. I don't know if that's true because I've never been in combat before, but I can theorize that from at least a psychological perspective, that it is in the realm of possibility for at least some people. Perhaps even myself if I was put in said position. And so the idea is that if you have a bolt hold open, it tells you that you're in the heat of combat and you're just going through muscle memory, not really even aware necessarily of your ammunition status in your gun, right? You hit that and it stops, and then it's supposed to stop your whole train of thought and tell you, oh, I'm out of ammo. I can't do anything anymore. I need to put another 5 rounds into the rifle. Would this accomplish that? It appears that it would. But we still have to ask ourselves, is that the intended purpose here? Well, I don't think we'll ever know for certain. But what we can do is take this magazine out and compare it to a standard one. Let's take a look at that. So here's a normal magazine. Now this particular floor plate came out of a rifle that was used in the Spanish Civil War. So it's got a little bit of wear on it, as you can see here, but it's a pretty good, very functional example, and we can see that this guy should be pretty flat. That looks about right. So let's go ahead and take out this guy and compare it. All right, open up my latch and pull that guy out of there. So, comparing these guys side by side, well, I can see a very huge difference right off the bat, and I bet you probably can as well. So, what's going on here? Well, the magazine at the back is the one with the hold open, and you can see that because the follower is protruding way up further than it really should be. So what's causing that? Well, it looks like this spring right here is really bent, like this way. It's bent back, so it's actually it's really pushing this guy out further. And you can see here, there's a gap here. See, there's this gap here. Now, if you've seen our Mosin Nagant tweezers video, you will know that there shouldn't be a gap there. If you look at a normal Mosin Nagant magazine, it almost looks like he's got a beak right here. See that beak? Well, this guy is pretty strange. So he doesn't even have a beak. And he's got this little weird thing going on here. So it's like a totally different design from this one. So no beak. And this spring here is radically different. And this whole thing is bent. So this is fundamentally very different from our standard magazine here, which is pretty interesting. So I think this is going to warrant a follow-up video where we do a comparison of a lot of different magazine floor plate follower assembly things, this whole assembly, and we just kind of do some comparisons to see what we can find out, because we have a different design here. I mean, it really does look like they've got an eye and like a mouth. I just love that. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm weird. I'm not. I'm really weird. Yes, you are. Yeah. So as we can see, this is weird, guys. So I think more information is required, but it's a really fascinating thing. So if you've seen something like this in a Mosin before, go ahead and post down in the comments, because I'd love to see it. Send me some pictures, and I'd love to hear about it. So I look forward to doing more comparison videos on these magazines in the future, because these things are just so cool. This is such a novel design. And one of the things I'm really shocked by is the fact that this design is over 130 years old. I mean, can you believe that? Just a really future-proof design, and these things just work, and they're super cool. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at this weird Mosin thing today. If you like more Mosin stuff, please consider subscribing. Let me know if y'all gotten any prayer requests, and we'll see you next time.